What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. I think I need to delete Twitter because I had to decipher what all this meant for like 5 minutes. This is a Captain Save a Black account. It just has to be. Just by the look of it, just some old ugly ass woman. All right, saying for the record, Shrek and Fiona chose to be ogres instead of white people. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I I had to let it sink in for like 5 minutes to even understand what your point is. And she's reposting someone saying, impersonating someone, being like, "How dare you whitewash Shrek's daughter? She's clearly black." I'm not gonna get into that, but so apparently, there's an issue with being white. Like, that's why Shrek and Fiona were ogres instead of regular people because there was a problem with them being white. You gotta go and watch the movie again because that's clearly not the point of the entire movie. For those of you who have not seen Shrek, the ogre gets hired to go rescue some princess, and she looks like this at the start of the movie. And then, she falls in love with Shrek, the ogre, and she says, "You know what? I'll be a ogre with you because I just like you for the way that you are." That's totally a blue pill ass movie. But anyway, it's not because, oh, I'd rather be an ogre than be white. You go watch the movie again, honey, because you're not even getting the point. And this original post is so silly because um apparently, you know, the fairy godmother turning Shrek into a white person means that Shrek is actually white. And so, their kids are white. Shrek is actually white. He's not a black character. Shrek is not a, a, a character of any color. He's an ogre. They're green. They're green. And if this were in Africa, if if Fiona's family were African princes, African royalty, the fairy godmother from the second movie, if you didn't know that, would turn Shrek into a big buff black guy. Okay? If they were in Asia, Shrek would be Asian. If they were in I don't know, if they were in South America, he would be South American. And so would Fiona. It just so happens that a lot of the characters in the fairy god not fairy god in the fairy tale universe are white. Oh no. Oh, they're white. Oh, that's gotta suck, doesn't it? That's just gotta suck for some people. It just happens to be white. Yeah, because he's white, because that's where the story takes place, in a white population. I can't stand people like this that their entire internet personality is just race identity politics. And you have to turn things that aren't political, that have nothing to do with race, into race. Why? To prove a point? What point are you proving that um, that Shrek is a black character? That um, you know they chose to be ogres instead of white people. So what does that say about white people? It's just blah 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 blah. Nothingness coming out of these people. both of these people, the original poster and the reposter, have a shared 1/2 of a brain cell. Let that sink in. All right, how long have we been recording for? 5 minutes? Listen. And by the way, if Shrek was a black character, he would not have some British accent. He would have some African accent or some American accent. All right? And that's basically it. And by the way, how racist do you have to be? I don't know how people have come to the conclusion that Shrek is black. What makes a green ogre looking character black? What does that say about you? And you guys? Why is an ogre a black character? Because he doesn't look white? What features does he have that makes Shrek a supposed black character? I don't know, and I'm not gonna guess either because that would be kind of racist. Or racist, whatever, for my Hyperborean viewers. I won't get into that. But both these accounts need to go back and rewatch the movie because I don't even think they get the theme of the movie or even the premise. Okay, Shrek is not black. He's green. And if they weren't ogres, they would be whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what? The fairy godmother could have turned them black. He could have turned Shrek black, but she didn't. Because that wouldn't make sense for the story. The writers didn't turn Shrek Asian because that wouldn't make sense for the story. Okay? Because during the time it was a medieval kingdom and there weren't a lot of Asians or blacks in white medieval kingdoms that are being portrayed in the movie. This whole thing is dumb. I'm done. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed. And with all that said, I'm done with the stupidity. I'm unbookmarking this post right now. I'm unbookmarking it. I'm done. I'm done. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. And with all that said, I will see you all next time back on the flip side. Peace out.